टाइम क्या हुआ है भैया?
बेटा बहुत टाइम खराब चल रहा है, जा नहीं तो पेल दूंगा जाए भी।
Have you recently watched an Akshay Kumar movie in a theater and kind of felt
मजा नहीं आ रहा है?
Let's be completely honest. When was the last time you bought a ticket to an Akshay Kumar movie and felt a genuine sense of excitement? Not just mild curiosity, but real palpable anticipation. For a lot of us who grew up watching him, it has been a very long time. Akshay Kumar's last theatrical release, Bhooth Bangla, is doing fairly well at the box office. The horror bit was fine, but the comedy bit was forgettable. And to anyone who has followed his career, the movie was nothing but a copy-paste of his past works. Since 2022, Akshay Kumar has starred in 13 films as a lead actor. All his films from 2022 to 2024 flopped. 2025 began with Skyforce, and with an inflated box office numbers, it's hard to ascertain a hit or flop status. Houseful 5 made a profit, but it's better not to comment on that movie. Jolly LLB 3 barely broke even, and Kesari Chapter 2, which sadly underperformed because in my opinion, it was the best acting of Akshay in recent times.
उनके हाथ में हथियार थे।
8, 9, 11 महीने के बच्चे जिनके छातियों में गोलियां लगी थी, उनके हाथ में कौन से हथियार आपने देखे?
These films didn't just underperform, they were actively dismissed. His image as a dedicated actor has taken a massive hit, and the conversation around him has shifted from his on-screen talent to his off-screen time management. When I see him do films like Selfie, Bachchan Pandey, Houseful 5, and many others, it makes me ask a question. Is one of the biggest, most bankable stars of the last 3 decades slowly fading into a state of absolute indifference? For someone who literally built his empire on broken bones and martial arts, he has slowly started to become a forgettable caricature of his own comedy roles. And to be honest, the talent of the actor is still there. His on-screen charisma hasn't faded. He is still one of the fittest actors in the Indian cinema. But when I see his movies and listen to his interviews, one thing is clearly lacking: the drive. There is a lack of commitment to a creative vision that stretches beyond just clocking in and clocking out each day.
You're goddamn right.
Please don't get me wrong, this video is not to spread negativity about the actor. I am a big fan of Akshay Kumar, and on the contrary, this video is to share my opinion on the exact genre and mindset that can change the narrative around him. He has dropped hints on this topic, and in this video, we'll break down exactly how he got here, why his recent attempts have completely failed, and how the right kind of movie might bring a big change. Let's get started with the reinvention of Akshay Kumar by first talking about the fall of the OG Khiladi. In the 90s, Akshay Kumar was our go-to action hero, the original Khiladi. While many actors were busy with cliched romantic dramas and catchy dance sequences, Akshay was out there taking real risks, performing genuinely dangerous stunts. He brought martial arts to the forefront of Indian cinema, and his early films had a raw, gritty quality. As the film industry changed, Akshay adapted like a professional. He made a smooth transition into comedy, and his collaborations with directors like Priyadarshan were pure gold. Movies like Hera Fairy, Garam Masala, Bhool Bhulaiya, and Bhagam Bhag are etched in our memory for Akshay's comedic timing and Priyadarshan's genius direction.
आपको गाना नहीं सुना दे रहा?
कौन सा गाना रे?
साफ सुनाई दे रहा है।
ये गुरु घंटाल आदमी है, साइन नहीं करने वाला। मैं कहता हूँ इसका बोरिया बिस्तर उठाओ और बाहर फेंक दो इसको।
But while comedy gave Akshay a new dimension in acting, it quickly became his safety net. Over the last decade, we have watched him slowly devolve from doing great situational comedy to just parodying himself. The nuanced comedic timing was replaced by loud, grating caricature. He started relying on funny faces, exaggerated accents, and low-hanging fruit. The performances stopped feeling grounded in any reality, and it became a brand built on being relatable, patriotic, and funny. But when you lean on the same crutch for too long, the audience gets exhausted. The Khiladi completely vanished, replaced by a guy who felt like he was showing up, reading the lines of a teleprompter, and waiting for the director to call cut so he could go home. Which brings us to the core of the issue today: the factory mindset and the cost of efficiency. For years, Akshay Kumar has proudly marketed his discipline. He wakes up at 4 AM, he arrives on set at 9 AM, he leaves exactly at 6 PM. He wraps up entire feature films in 35 to 40 days. For a long time, the industry applauded this. During the 2010s, when he was on a run of social message films like Airlift, Toilet Ek Prem Katha, and Padman, this factory mindset actually worked. Those films were heavily reliant on script and concept, not necessarily on massive cinematic scale or deep psychological immersion. But the world has changed since the pandemic. Cinema has evolved. Before the pandemic, an actor could get away with an average film. You would go to the theater on a Friday just because there was nothing else to do. But during the lockdown, lockdown, the Indian audience grew up. We were exposed to everything. We watched Parasite, we watched Money Heist, we watched incredible movies from all parts of the world. We realized that average isn't good enough anymore. When theaters reopened, the middle ground movie died. If a movie is just okay, people will wait 4 weeks and watch it on Netflix or Prime because they are looking for high quality, grounded filmmaking. They want technical grit. They want character psychology. You cannot build a rich, lived-in cinematic world on a strict 9 to 5 corporate schedule.
My team went on to God mode in this film. Arjun sir, Maddie sir, Rakesh sir, Sara, Ranveer, Akshay sir, Sanju sir, everybody was like on God mode in this.
This factory mindset is actively destroying his creative output. When you are rushing to finish 4 films in a year, there is absolutely zero time for character preparation. There is no time to alter your physicality, to change your voice, or to understand the psychological depth of the person you're portraying. You just put on a fake mustache, change your shirt, and play Akshay Kumar again. This lack of experimentation is glaring. Filmmaking is a collaborative, time-consuming, and often messy art form. It requires an actor to submit completely to the director's vision. When the actor dictates the schedule to the minute, the director is no longer creating a film, they are managing a project timeline. The focus shifts from how do we make this scene brilliant to how do we finish this scene before lunchtime. This mindset can lead the audience to see through the lack of effort. We can see the fake sets, the rushed green screen work, and the sheer apathy in his eyes. He's completely phased out of the creative process, choosing to be a highly paid employee, clocking his hours rather than an artist trying to say something. In my opinion, and this is coming from an Akshay Kumar fan, please do fewer films in a year. Be willing to give a director 100 days of undivided obsessive attention. And the genre that demands that physical and mental commitment, something that Akshay is comfortable with, is action.
You just mentioned Dhurandhar. Did you think, yeah, I could have also been part of the Liari gang? I mean, you're suited for it in many ways.
But I don't think Aditya thought that. I don't think he thought it, so I didn't get it.
Now I know what some of you are thinking. You might be saying, wait, Akshay did try to go back to action recently. What about Bade Miyan Chote Miyan? What about his presence in the Singham franchise? That is a very fair point, but we need to draw a hard line here. What we saw in Bade Miyan Chote Miyan and Singham again was not a return to his action roots. It was the exact opposite. It was peak corporate filmmaking. It was empty, soulless, mass masala designed by a committee to generate fake PR hype and box office numbers, completely devoid of any real cinematic craft. Let us look at Bade Miyan Chote Miyan. That film is the perfect example of everything wrong with modern, lazy action cinema. It relied entirely on scale over substance. Flying cars, massive explosions, slow motion walks, and overwhelming CGI. And most importantly, it had no story. Akshay Kumar was doing action, yes, but he looked completely detached from it. There was no sense of danger, no visceral impact to the punches. It was an action movie built on algorithms, not on character psychology or physical tension. And his involvement in the Rohit Shetty cop universe with Suryavanshi and Singham 3, it suffers from another problem, franchise fatigue. He is simply wearing a uniform, putting on a pair of aviators, and walking away from CGI explosions. There is no vulnerability. There is no character arc. It is an action as a spectacle, but it is entirely hollow. The audience has grown incredibly smart. We have access to global cinema. We know what good action looks like. We have top-notch action sequences in RRR, Animal and Dhurandhar, where action lands a punch but carries emotional weight. When the audience rejects such films, they are not rejecting the action genre. They are rejecting lazy, uninspired filmmaking. For Akshay to reinvent himself, he needs to strip away all of that and embrace the dirt, the blood, and the exhaustion of an action hero, bringing us to the most interesting development in his career right now. In a recent interview, Akshay Kumar acknowledged his desire to return to the action genre.
Wow. And I want to make again an action film where I am really running, where I'm really jumping. I want to do that. I have few years more that I think I can do it.
But more importantly, he specifically mentioned being open to working with directors like Sandeep Reddy Vanga and Aditya Dhar. If this is true, and if he actually commits to it, this is exactly the blueprint for his reinvention. Let us talk about why these two directors in particular hold the key to unlocking the actor we have been missing. Aditya Dhar with Uri the Surgical Strike and Dhurandhar proved that he understands the mechanics of modern, grounded action better than almost anyone else in the industry. He brought a sense of military precision, tactical realism, gritty espionage, and absolute seriousness to his filmmaking. Imagine Akshay Kumar under the direction of Aditya Dhar. Akshay has the physicality to pull off authentic combat sequences perfectly. Dhar would not let him get away with a rushed 40-day shoot. Dhar would demand physical conditioning, weapons training, and complete immersion in the psychology of a soldier or spy who operates in the the shadows. It would be a return to the disciplined, hard-hitting action that made Akshay a star in the first place, but elevated by Dhar's modern cinematic sensibilities. With Sandeep Reddy Vanga, things get truly fascinating. Vanga has a polarizing effect on the audience, but no one can deny his absolute mastery over character psychology and visceral emotion. Vanga does not make safe films. He makes films about deeply flawed, obsessive, and often volatile men. His action is not designed to look cool. It is designed to feel brutal, exhausting, and intimate. Putting Akshay Kumar in a Sandeep Reddy Vanga film would completely shatter his current safe, family-friendly image, and honestly, it might be something completely new for the actor. Imagine Akshay playing a character who is ruthless, morally grey, and driven by a dark, consuming obsession. Vanga would force him into psychological spaces he has not visited in decades.
घर जाके इंतजार करो, कोई ना कोई तुम्हारे पास आ जाएगा. जाओ.
We would see a level of intensity and rage that would remind everyone exactly why he is a superstar. Vanga strips his actors of their vanity. He pushes them to the absolute edge. For Akshay, a Vanga film would not just be an action movie, it would be a complete deconstruction of his entire on-screen persona. Both these directors represent a departure from the fake PR masala that has plagued Akshay's recent career. They represent a focus on technical grit, strong screenwriting, and immersive world building, exactly what Akshay Kumar needs. So what does this actual reinvention look like in practice? Akshay Kumar is at a crossroads. He has achieved everything there is to achieve in terms of financial success and stardom. He has nothing left to prove to the box office, but he has a lot left to prove to the cinema and to the audience that built him. The path of least resistance, doing safe comedies and hollow CGI-heavy corporate action films, will only accelerate his decline. The audience has moved on from that era. We demand more, and we deserve more from an actor of his caliber. He was the Khiladi once. It is time for him to stop playing it safe and remind us exactly what that title means. Because if he does not reinvent himself now, he risks becoming a footnote in a rapidly changing industry rather than the undisputed heavyweight we all know he can be. So what do you think? Do you agree that gritty, grounded action is the only way forward for Akshay Kumar? Or do you think there is another genre he should explore? Let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe to this channel for more such videos, and do check out our reaction video of Samay Raina's new comedy special right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.